Well, hello friends. Today is March 1st, which can only mean one thing. Spring is finally coming. Well, today, at least in Berlin, there's everything outside but blue skies, chirping birds, and blooming flowers. There's the tiniest bit of sun peeking through the clouds, but it doesn't matter. We're taking it. We're gonna make the most out of this day. And I don't know about you, but I feel like welcoming this season with clarity, with tidiness, with lightness. And so I feel ready for a spring clean, but not just any spring clean. I am going to spring clean the heck out of my wardrobe. So yes, in order to be able to do that, I want to take everything that I own in terms of clothes, shoes, and potentially I think also handbags, because I have a few hanging here and there and laying around here and there. And I'm going to dump everything on my bed, perfectly conscious of the fact that my cat, as soon as I'm going to do that, is going to jump on everything, sniff through everything, and trying to dig a hole through everything and make a feast out of it. But that doesn't matter because today we're tackling our wardrobe. I do believe that one of the best things about living in a studio apartment is the fact that you have to be extremely mindful and conscious about the things that you own, how many you own, but especially what exactly do you own. Because the storage space in a studio apartment, even though you can get creative as much as you want with storage, but there's only that much space that you can use. And so once you reach maximum capacity, you have reached maximum capacity. And that is exactly my problem right now. Even though I had let go of a few wardrobe pieces back in November, I have reached maximum capacity. And so I need to make some space in order for what I have to feel, like they deserve more space. My poor clothes and shoes, they deserve more space. I deserve more space, not because I want to welcome even more things, but because I want to claim my space back. I believe that my apartment just doesn't have to feel like a storage unit. It has to feel like an apartment. And so we're tackling that today. This is where I store the majority of my clothes. Yeah, I haven't had a proper wardrobe in I think around a decade. This is what I like, this is what works for me and what I prefer. But in order for something like this, a clothing rack, in order to be able to make it work, it needs to be free of clutter, because otherwise it just gives the vibe of flea market meets overcrowded thrift store full of stuff that was found in the basement and now needs to go. And I don't want that. So yeah, this is the first problem. I want to be able to take things on and off of it easily without having to cram everything together. So I feel like this can definitely use some improvement. Hi. As you can see, I keep some of my shoes down here. These are the bulkiest shoes and the shoes that generally don't fit into the little slim shoe storage situation that I have behind my door. That's mostly used for sneakers and less bulkier shoes. That IKEA thing is amazing. It's very slim and compact, but doesn't fit a lot. So a lot of my shoes are down here, and this doesn't look exactly super pretty. And there's something here that we can definitely improve. These two bottom drawers, I keep my sweaters and cardigans, all of the knit stuff. So this is also dedicated to my clothes. And finally, some of my things, most seasonal pieces like very summery clothes or big bulky jackets that I don't know where to store, are in these storage bins underneath my bed, just to save space. And these are things that I need to access to less often, so they tend to live here. This is also where I keep my pajamas, but we're not gonna go through those as well. We're not gonna go through my undergarments today. We're just gonna focus on plain clothes, shoes, and bags. All right, so it looks like we have a lot to go through, so let's get to work. I don't know if this is important to mention, but I currently don't have a lot in the wash. A couple of t-shirts there that I wear anyways, so we're not gonna bother about those. And mostly undergarments as well as some bed sheets. So we don't have to worry about anything that's in the wash because the majority of my stuff is here available. Phase 1. Take everything out from its current storage space and dump it on my bed. Is it just me or she's looking a little crooked? And I guess that with the jackets and scarves that hang behind my apartment door, we are pretty much done with dumping everything out of my bed. Where am I even gonna put these? All right, we're done with phase 1. I had to close the curtains because apparently today, sun has decided to make an appearance. I'm definitely not complaining, but I don't like my stuff to be in the sun the entire time. So we're gonna close the curtains for now. Yeah, we're done. And wait, let me just flip my camera. This is the current situation. Look at that. I don't know how this was even possible. Like, how the heck do I have this much stuff? I feel like if you don't take everything out and you don't dump everything together, you really don't have a proper understanding of how much you actually own. And I think the last time that I did something like this was around 3 years ago. So I kept decluttering in between, but always per category or per storage bin, you know, just localized and not all of together like this. And my cat is drowning in my stuff. I had to move the pillows because there wasn't enough space on my bed. This is so bad. So this is long overdue, but now we're ready for phase 2, which is clean the storage spaces properly. So before putting everything back, we make sure that all the surfaces are clean. Okay, now that all of the drawers and racks and bins have been properly cleaned, it's time to step on to phase number 3. Never mind my band-aid here, which is basically selecting the yes items, the maybe items, and the no items. I think I'm gonna proceed in this way because it's just, am I on focus? Because it's just easier for my brain to understand, because here there's obviously like a huge pile of everything mixed with everything. So my approach would be to start with the things that I am 100% sure of, so that once they're out of the way, I can focus on the rest. I can get those out of the way, it's less visually messy, and then I can start focusing on the things that I am unsure of and I need to decide what to do with them, or the things that I am already sure of not keeping, and in that case I need to distinguish them or divide them into to be sold, to be donated, or in very few cases I'm suspecting even to be discarded, because if things are not in good conditions, I am definitely not donating it or selling it. the most beautiful things about doing something like this every once in a while is being able to see everything that you own and fall in love with seasonal items that you don't wear often again. There are things that, because I don't see them often and I don't keep them all year round on my clothing rack or in my drawers or where I can visually see them every day, it's nice to rediscover them and fall in love with your own wardrobe again. Sometimes we tend to forget how much we have, and we tend to forget that we should always cherish and appreciate and be more grateful for what we already have, rather than keep chasing the next trend, the next big thing, the item that is magically going to solve all of our problems or all of our needs. But that oftentimes is really not the case. I like to have fun with fashion and I like to experiment a lot with fashion, and I might definitely have accumulated more than what I used to be as a person a few years ago, but that's fine because that's who I am right now. Camera battery just died. I was saying, I think it's very important to be able to check in with ourselves periodically and be aware of what we have, because more often than not we have already more than enough than what we need. So doing something like this, like a huge spring clean and taking a look at literally everything at once, when it comes to your wardrobe, can be a really eye-opening experience. You rediscover things that you forgot about. Just gives you more inspiration or new inspiration. A huge wardrobe clean out can make us appreciate what we have even more, can make us see everything in a new light, and ultimately can make us fall in love again with our clothes, the ones that we already have, which I think is fantastic. Alright friends, as you can see, Pillows and Teddy are back on the bed, which means that we have much more space than there used to be on this bed a couple of hours ago, and this means that I basically have proceeded until now to put away all the things that I am absolutely sure of keeping. And for the things that are currently in use, for example, like the cardigan that I had on, or the jackets, the 2 jackets that are hanging by the door, I made sure when putting things away that there is going to be enough space for them once they are not going to be in use anymore because it's too hot, or change a jacket or whatever, wearing something else, etc. Since I have freed up some space, I have rearranged the way things are stored to maximize organization. So I make sure to check if things currently in use will fit once they will be stored away. Everything seems to be fitting comfortably in the space, so I'm very happy about that. Everything that's left here, including a couple of shoes down there. I'm really pale, I'm sorry about that. These are all of the things that didn't make the first cut. There are also a couple of things that are damaged beyond repair, unfortunately. So things that can't be really repaired anymore. They are too worn out, they are cracked and ripped beyond repair. So you know that I'm all about repairing and restoring and trying to extend the life of something as much as possible. But when something is damaged beyond repair, it has to unfortunately either be disposed of or repurposed if a repurpose is possible. So now we basically have to decide what's going to happen with these things. Well, obviously Kat is a keeper, so we're not putting her in the maybe pile or the no pile. She claimed her napping spot back, but this is the result, which I think it's pretty encouraging considering what we started with a couple of hours ago. And yeah, so I am now going to divide these things into maybe or no, to be sold, to be donated, and to be got rid of completely. Hello from the future, friends. This is Editing Jen here. I was going through the footage of this video because I'm obviously editing it, and there is one thing that occurred to me that I really wanted to talk to you about and be honest about. As I was going through the footage, it occurred to me something regarding these 4 pieces of clothing. We got a very Beetlejuicy play suit, jumpsuit, whatever you want to call it, a skirt, and 2 denim skirts. When I was putting back things that I was 100% sure of, that I didn't have to give a second thought to, these obviously made the cut. I really have picked them up and I haven't given them in the moment a second thought. I obviously really like them, otherwise I wouldn't have done that. But the reality is that I cannot genuinely remember when was the last time that I worn these. And the reason is quite simple. Whilst these still fit, they no longer fit as they used to. So I no longer feel confident enough, pretty enough in them, or, at comfort and at ease enough to wear them. Maybe it's because of the medication for my rheumatoid arthritis that I've been taking. Maybe it's because overall 2024 was incredibly stressful for me. I have gained some extra weight, and through that extra weight, again, they fit. I can still, close them and everything, but I don't like myself when I wear them. And so I haven't. I have kept them every day in front of my eyes for months and months and months in a row. And I was ready to do the same again without noticing that I was subconsciously hurting myself. I would think that after all these years of decluttering and living, more simply and minimizing and all of that, that I would declutter pretty easily, kind of like an autopilot mode. There are very, very few circumstances where it has been difficult for me, but I guess it pretty much depends on which trigger points are hit. And when certain trigger points are hit, it can get tough, and it's okay. I don't think that anyone is less beautiful or less worthy with a few extra pounds, but for me, it's something that I really have struggled with body image my whole life. And so the idea of me no longer being able to fit nicely enough in these clothes was kind of painful. I do believe, however, that it's very important to stay true to my real self, the one that I am right now, and not the ideal version that I have of myself, the one that it's leaner, that it's thinner, that used to be able to fit confidently and nicely in these clothes, or that could potentially fit again these clothes. I don't really think it's going to bring me anything at the end of the day, seeing these every day and reminding of a lot of things that hurt. I don't think I am ready to part with these yet, and that's okay, but I have decided to fold them up. You are still going to be able to see them in the video footage, but these are going to be packed away because out of sight, out of heart, and I'm going to be storing them with the other items that I am unsure of. So in the maybe pile, I'm going to keep that maybe pile for a while, and then I'm going to give myself a deadline. I've already set a timer on my Google Calendar, and when that timer is gonna ring or pop up on my screen, I'm gonna decide what to do with these, whether they're a keeper, because realistically, I am really going to miss these, or I am going to be able to wear these, or if it's about time to honor myself, love myself for who I am, and getting rid of these altogether. This is something that I really wanted to talk to you about, and hopefully this experience can inspire some of you or give a little bit of confidence to anyone who might struggle for the same reasons when spring cleaning the wardrobe or getting rid of some clothes. All right, that's that. Back to the video. Right, I think we have a verdict. It's been a long thing to do, but somehow extremely relaxing and liberating. And so we have a verdict now. So I'm gonna go quickly through everything. This pile right here, these are all of the things that are going to be donated. Here we have things that are going to be sold. So we have a little pile right here and some items down here. These are unfortunately items that, my opinion, are damaged beyond repair. So we're gonna have to dispose of those. And then right here are the items, a few of them, I think 4 or 5, that I'm currently a little unsure of. So I don't know exactly what's gonna happen with them. I am not ready to part with these yet. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with them, but I feel pretty good because I want to show you the final result. All right, friends, so I really believe that today it was a very, very successful spring cleaning of my wardrobe. Well, first and foremost, I was able to clean, reorganize, and tidy up everything because the situation was kind of out of control and I wasn't happy anymore. I was able to make sure that the things that I'm keeping are actually worth being kept. So we did end up getting rid of a few things that are going to be donated or sold. I am taking myself time and space to reevaluate a couple of items, which I think is absolutely fine. I am falling in love again with my wardrobe because now I only have the things that I'm sure of keeping. And so re-seeing things and giving them the proper space to be stored and to exist, I think it's really important. We even have some room to spare, and so everything has space and can breathe and can live. And yeah, and as I was saying, I was able to even fall in love again with some pieces, just seeing them, or I don't know, moving them from a box underneath of my bed to my clothing rack and giving them new space and new room to breathe and to exist, kind of like made me fall in love again with my wardrobe. When you have less stuff, you are able to cherish it more and to love it more and appreciate it more. And I don't know, but I feel excited about playing with my wardrobe even more than I have been enjoying doing in the past 2 to 3 years, where I really started experimenting more with fashion. And I don't know, I feel so good. So yeah, you tell me what you think. I think for me, it's now about time to wrap up this video and to bag everything up, the things that I want to donate, the things that I am unsure of. So we're gonna have to find them a temporary space, the things that I want to sell. And yeah, so if you have enjoyed this video and you have enjoyed spending time with me today, you know the drill. You can like it, you can leave a comment below, you can subscribe if you still haven't and you enjoy the content that I'm sharing here on this channel. You can even share this video. Thank you so much for watching and for being here today. I hope this video gives you the motivation that you need to tackle some spring cleaning yourself. I guess I'll see you in my next video. Bye.